Hi everyone, you finished filming and now it's time to get organized for us to edit. You can see on my desktop now I've got a folder called FPO-2-Crawford. In that folder I've already done this, but you can see I've got audio. What I've done is audio. You're going to have different scenes, so I've got scene number 1 audio. In that I've got my birds tweeting, I've got my pencil, I've got my room tone, and I've got my soundtrack. Those are the 4 things that I used for my audio. I've got exports. This is where we're going to export our file. I've got the Premiere. Once we make a Premiere file, it's going to show up in here, and video raw, and I've got scene 1 again. So in scene 1, what I did in scene 1 is you can see I've got Dave close up 2, Dave medium shot. What I want you to do is go in and label these by your character. It's easier to find when we're working with this, and especially when you start to get lots of characters. If we start to work with that next year, this is an important labeling protocol. So David dash medium shot, David dash close up, and you can see here I've got 2 because I did the close up twice. Here I've got the insert shot as well with the pencil, and I've got the master shot with both characters in it. So this is all set up and ready for me to start a Premiere folder. So I'm going to open up Premiere. Okay, we want to start a new project, so we click New Project. Now, it's going to ask us 2 things. What do you want to call this? I want to call this FPO-2-Crawford. And it's going to say, where do you want to save this? And right now you can see it's saving it and it's burying it in Adobe Premiere. We want to tell it where to save it. So I go to Browse. I'm going to go to my desktop. And I'm going to put that into Premiere. That's going to put the file, now everything, the audio, the Premiere, and the video raw is all going to be in this one folder on my desktop. So I'm going to choose that. Now we're ready to go. The advantage of this now is I can take this whole folder and drop it onto my external hard drive for my backup, or I can, and in addition, I could put that into my Google Drive just to make sure I've got this backed up. I'm going to say OK. And now we're ready to start editing. You can see here now, I'm in this project. What I'm going to do now is import from my folder. So I'm going to go back to my desktop here, and I'm going to take my audio, and now I can just take the whole folder. It's nice. I import the whole folder in, and I'll get my scene 1 audio. Same thing. I'm going to double click, and I'll go back and get my video raw, and I'll take scene 1. You can bring these in by scene, and that's going to help you stay organized. So now I've got scene 1, scene 1. I'm also going to make a new bin, and I'm going to call this bin sequences. And then within this, I'm going to make a new sequence. And I'm going to set that to 1080p 30, and then OK. I'm going to call this one rough. Let's call it rough while we're here. So now we've got the rough. If I go back in here, now you can see all my sequences are going to be in here. My scene 1 and my scene 2 are there. Now, the first thing I'm going to do when I get in here now is open up scene 1, and you can see I've got all of my stuff here. So if I hit the tilde key, it'll open up everything, and I can see all of these here. So I've got the 3 Dave shots here. I'm going to take those, and I'm going to label those, and I'm going to label those mango, just to make those nice and bright so I can see them. Then I'm going to take the David shots, and I'm going to label those. Let's label those rose. Oh, I missed one David. Label rose. The insert shot, I'm going to leave. The master shot, I'm going to label that one. Let's go blue. So now I've got those all color coded, and that's going to help me when I start editing, and I'll show you that in a second. So we're set up, we're ready to go. We've got our sequence ready. The first thing I'm going to do is open up my master shot. And so I'm going to load up my master shot, and you can see here, I'm using my watch to get it started. I'm going to go I for in, and I'm going to go along here while David is talking. He gets up. This is I get up. You can actually see me starting to change, so I can change over to become Dave. But let's cut it right here. There's O for out. I'm going to drag that down. I'm going to keep that in layer 1, and you can see here it's blue. I know that's my master shot now. I'm going to come back up again and find the point where Dave gets his hat on and is ready to go. I'm going to go in. I'm going to slide that over. And there's the end, out. I'm going to put that on layer 2, and I'll show you why in a second. So this is going to go into layer 2. Now you can see those are both blue, but I've got these two now. But because this is on the top, I can only see the Dave version, not the David. And that's easy for me to fix. All I'm going to do is go to Effects, switch to my effects. I'm going to type in crop, and I'm going to drag the crop over there, and we're going to crop half that out. Once I do that, you can see in my effects control over here, I've got the crop function, and I'm just going to grab the right, and I'm going to drag that over. And you can see I can drag that over. I'm going to find that line, and I'm going to find a line on the table, and maybe that lamp in the background, and just put that there. Now you can see, because I've cropped that out, there's nothing on that side of that image, and this image is on top of the other image there. You can see I'm plucking the eye in and out so that you can see it. You can see up here, the light has changed a little bit during the time that I've shot this, and so we're going to have to lighten that up a little bit. We're going to use the color grade. I'll show you how to do that later, but we're going to leave it for now so that our machine doesn't have to change the color while we're working on this. So now that we've got that there, you can see we've got these two people talking. We could end with a close-up. And so now you can see here, the David character says we could end with a close-up. So if I take a look in here, you can see the audio is pretty bad. We could end with a close-up. We're hardly getting any bars in here, and that's because it's a wide shot and my phone isn't great at getting the audio. But I know that in here, in my scene 1, I have a close-up of David. So I'm going to load that close-up of David. I'm going to find that we could end with, and I think it's probably going to be about here. We could end with a close-up. So now I've got we could end with a close-up. And so now in here I could do in and out. I've switched this to audio so I can actually see exactly where to go. We could end with a close-up. So I'll go in. We could end with a close-up. And out. I'll go back to my video. And now I can drag the video down. And I know that I want to drag that down to this section right here. I'm going to go into video layer 3. And then I can zoom in on this area. And so you can see, I'm going to collapse these. And I'm going to open this up so you can see that. And so we can see that. Okay, so now I can drag this down. And you can see, I can see the sound files here. I'm just going to solo this one so I can hear where it is there. We could end with a close-up. And now I know that that's the start there. That's the we. I'm going to put a marker on there. So now I can see that. Now I'm going to solo this. We could end. And now I can put a marker right on the we there. Oops, on there. So now I can link up these two. And that should be fine. I'm just going to solo this, and let's see what that looks like. We could end with a close-up. And you can see I didn't say it at the same speed here, so I might not be able to use this, but that's fine because I have the close-up, and I'm actually going to use the close-up. We could end with a close-up. And now you can see I've got good audio for this. So that's how we're going to cut this. And now we can cut from there